Hi, my name is Amber and this is my July wrap-up and haul. First, I want to say that I am filming on a brand new camera, so if it looks or sounds or just seems different, that's why. This is my first time filming on this camera, and while I love it for photos, I'm not quite used to it with video just yet. I also want to say that this month I didn't read a ton, and I honestly didn't pick up that many books, so I am going to be combining both my haul and my wrap-up into one video. I'm going to start with my haul first, and I do want to start with a few things that I ended up forgetting that I got last month. The first one is this Hufflepuff sticker that I ended up picking up last month. Next is actually going to be the top that I am wearing. I ended up finding this little sports bra at Hot Topic and fell in love with it. I am just happy to add something else Overwatch related to my house. Now onto the things that I got this month. My in-laws decided to pick something up recently for my dog, and that is this bandana that says Hufflepuff on it. The first book that I picked up is definitely one that I did not need, and that is a paperback copy of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is my favorite series of all time. This is probably my favorite book of all time, and I really wanted an edition that I could read over and over again without worrying about messing it up. The next two books that I received this month I actually got through Indiegram BookTours, which I will have a link down below for that website if you want to go check it out. But the first book is Tap, I Love Story by Tracy Ewins. I don't know how to say that last name. Plus I'm really interested to see just to add a little quick note, I got a cat recently, so she's gonna be in the background of my videos apparently. This is Aylin. I've shown her multiple times on different Instagram accounts that I have. She had been living with my in-laws because we just weren't able to have her, but she recently came to live with us, so she is most likely gonna be in the background of my videos and causing chaos. And what are you doing? Please don't knock something over. Why are you so weird? Anyways, from what I know about this author and these series, they're all individual standalone books, but some of them share the same world and kind of have the same characters thrown in every now and then. This is about our main character, Cade, who is part of a family where all of his brothers have found love and he just hasn't found it yet. He's really ready to settle down and find someone that's going to really care about him and not just the way he looks. And then our other character, Sistine, I think is how you say her name, is trying to keep her knitting shop open, so she's kind of just struggling and doing whatever she can to keep it running. And the next book that I got through Indiegram Tours was The Tribulations of August Barton by Jennifer LeBlanc. This is a small novella. It's about August, who is not prepared for his first year at college, and his anxiety is insane. His parents are divorcing. His roommate thinks that he's a giant nerd, and his grandmother, who used to be an ex-prostitute, has run away from her nursing home, so it sounds like it's gonna be a really crazy ride and really cute and sweet. And the last book that I picked up this month was Destined for Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. This is the sequel to Dune I had read a while back and really loved and just couldn't find the second one. So when I found it, I jumped on it and picked it up as soon as I possibly could. So that is my haul for the month. Now to move on to my wrap up. The first books that I ended up getting through this month were actually volumes 2 through 4 of Astonishing Xmen by Joss Whedon. I had read the first volume last month and really loved it. So I was excited to jump into the other volumes, and I loved them just as much as I did the first one. And I ended up giving all the volumes 5 stars. The next book I picked up this month was The Divinity Bureau by Tessa Clare. I was sent this by the author in exchange for an honest review, and it started out a little slow for me, but then I kind of just sped through the whole thing really fast. We follow two characters, Roman, who is part of the Divinity Bureau. He's an IT technician there, and the Divinity Bureau, because of overpopulation and pollution and a bunch of other issues, has brought it upon themselves to decide who lives and who dies randomly. He kind of just goes about his life thinking this is what he's got to do, this is his job, until he meets April. April does not like the Divinity Bureau, mainly because it is the reason for her father's early death, and what April doesn't know is that Roman actually saved her life. I don't want to go too much into spoilers about this story, but I did really enjoy the concept. I really enjoyed Roman as a character a lot. Have another book that's supposed to be coming out, and I do plan on continuing on with the series, but I did have issues with this. Some of the way the story progressed seemed a little jumpy and a little weird, and then there was the characters. Specifically April, I just had a lot of issues with her character. There were moments when I would really love her character and she seemed really awesome, and then there were other ones where I was confused on how this was the same character that I just read about in another chapter. She had a lot of whiny and complaining moments. She made horrible decisions. I really felt like Roman could do better, honestly. Overall, I ended up giving this 3 stars. The next book that I picked up this month was The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. I decided to finally pick it up this month, and I'm so glad that I did because I really enjoyed this story a ton. I really like the characters. Our main character runs away from an arranged marriage that her parents have set up for her with a different pirate clan, and they end up sending an assassin after her, and after some crazy magic issues that she ends up having, she accidentally binds the assassin to her in some ways, and it's kind of just their journey of trying to break this curse. I really enjoyed this story. I thought the characters were really interesting. I definitely plan on continuing on with it. I know this is supposed to be a duology and there's some novellas randomly thrown in there somewhere. The only real issue I had with this story was the fact that on the back of the book, specifically in the synopsis, it talks about how to break the curse they have to deal with 3 different trials, and I'm not spoiling this because it's literally on the back of the book. You don't learn that in the story until the last chapter of the book. You don't see any of the trials, they just learn about the trials and then that's the end. I found that a little weird because I just expected that to be in there since it's on the back of the book. Besides that, I did really end up enjoying this a lot. I ended up giving this 5 stars. The last book that I read this month was Olympian Challenger by Astrid Arditi. I think I'm saying that last name right, but I'm probably not. This is another story I was sent for review by the author. The story follows our main character, Hope, who receives a random invitation that only has 1 line on it, and then all of a sudden all these words kind of magically appear on the rest of the note, and it is a riddle. She soon finds out that everyone in her high school and a ton of kids in her city have received the same note, but only a few can actually see those hidden words. She is then randomly sent to Mount Olympus, where she has to be one of the challengers in this contest to be the Olympian hero. You're basically following her through a bunch of different trials and meeting all of these new people and talking to different gods, and it definitely had some interesting moments and I really enjoyed some of the characters, but overall this book was kind of just iffy for me. I had some issues with the writing overall. The story was just kind of bland in some ways, and while I am intrigued enough to continue on with it and see what happens in the next story just because I want to know what happens, it's not one that I'm running and wanting to get right this moment. Again, it's not a horrible book. It was really fun. I just wasn't overall enjoying it as much as I was hoping I would. I'm still somewhere between 2 and 3 stars with this, but I think it's gonna lean more towards 2 stars, unfortunately. But those are all the books that I read in the month of July. Let me know your favorite book that you picked up this month down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.